Hey everyone, Pat Spielman here, founder at Upticks. And in this video, I want to walk you through the Evergreen Follow Up method. So first of all, if you've been forgetting to follow up with prospects and essentially losing out on sales, you might not think that you're losing out on sales, but there's really hidden opportunity in follow-up. So let me walk you through it. And the reality is that 90% of your prospects are not looking for your solution at the moment in time in which you actually reach out to them, right? But that doesn't mean that you should just, cut it off, sell yourself short, start burning through lead lists and all that kind of stuff. As they say, the money is in the follow-ups, really because it is. So I want to introduce you to the Evergreen Follow Up, which is a post cold outreach follow-up process after a little bit of a cooling off period, all right? So first of all, the concept. The Evergreen Follow Up method essentially puts your prospects in a long-term automated touch-based sequence that essentially just reaches out to them every so often. So ideally, this is like a 3 to 6 month. You can vary this up, drip sequence, where every 3 to 6 months until you get a yes or no decision. Even if you don't get a yes or no, or you do get a yes or a no, you still might want to follow up with somebody, right? They might just say, hey, now's not a good time, follow up with me in the future. You can keep this sequence running, all right? The goal here is to be persistent, but not annoying with your prospects. So here's when you use it. After your initial cold outreach sequence has ended, you can enroll your prospects into the sequence. Obviously, if you have not received a response from your prospects, that's the best time to use it. And you have not held a sales meeting. Now, you can adapt this strategy to post-sales meeting, right? And using a follow-up mechanism. We actually have some pre-built sequences in Upticks. The reason why this works is that your prospects, at the time, as I mentioned, when you initially reach out to them, they don't have the pain right there, right in that moment in time, right? And initially, it's irrelevant to them. And you may not hear back from your prospects, but prospects anticipate that you're going to give up because they know salespeople give up. All right. So they ignore your initial outreach. But, as long as you're persistent and you follow up with people, you're going to get considered if your product or service really solves a problem that they need, right? They're likely going to go and search their inbox because you're going to become top of mind. I actually just did this recently. All right. So, I don't want to edit my videos anymore. So I know somebody who, my YouTube videos in particular, and somebody who's been persistent with me in continually following up with me. So they became top of mind. I went and searched my email. Took me a couple minutes, but I found them and I reached back out to them and booked a call. All right. And the great part about this is it's automated, right? This isn't something that you have to spend a ton of time on. So it's really just in this, the setup process. All right. So here's the structure. Essentially, it's a 4-line follow-up email using what I refer to as SpinTax. Now, the SpinTax is optional, but it's a really powerful mechanism that essentially rotates the wording in your email, and it helps with email deliverability. And instead of having to write multiple email variations, you actually just write multiple variations of the same line, and a system like Upticks is going to rotate that messaging. All right, it's essentially a win-win. So it helps with deliverability, helps simplify the process. So here's what it looks like. Of course, you've got a subject line. And don't let some of the nuances of what I'm saying in some of these email templates, these are an example, okay? So take these, tweak it, make it your own. I'm using a problem agitate solution formula, but you can really use any framework. The idea here is something is better than nothing. And then, in the future, you can perfect it. All right, so we got our subject line. You're going to have an introduction or a reminder to the problem. So again, remember that this is post your initial cold outreach sequence, right? So you might say something like, hey, touch and base quick about, and then insert the problem that you're trying to solve. All right. You want to make some sort of relevance and you want to agitate them a little bit. Now, not piss people off. That's not what I'm saying. We're just piggybacking on the first line. So, sometimes life is about timing. So I was curious if, you want to solve that problem that we're talking about here. And could it be a priority right now? And then quickly just transition to a solution. And I always like to put in social proof or any sort of other proof of how you've gotten results for people. So your company, it might be, Upticks helps companies like A, B, C, solve, cold outreach challenges, right? Mind if I send over some sort of case study, some sort of helpful video, something like that? So I always like to do some sort of a hook, right? Something of value that you could give to them. Now that's optional, but that's what I like. So the last part to this is giving instructions. I always like to give people instructions on what exactly to do. So a quick yes or no would be amazing. I got some more variations of this we'll go over here in a second, but I always like to include instructions on what to do next. And a quick little pro tip, it's always great to A/B test different variations at the same time. And as I mentioned before, it's a problem, agitate, solution formula, but update it to your liking. Now, for SpinTax purposes, you want to write variations. All right, so we write several variations of each line in the email. So here's an example. All right, so you could write different variations of your subject line. All right, different subject lines. So we're going to use the same email template in a sequence, but it's going to rotate between the verbiage. And the way as long as we're following the proper writing structure, the email, every single email will make sense. But instead of having to write multiple email variations and worrying about landing eventually in promotions tab, what a SpinTax is going to do is it's going to rotate and create literally thousands. The more variations you write, the more variations of your email are going to get written. That's going to help for email deliverability. All right, because you'll have literally thousands and thousands of variations of your email. All right, so I'm not going to go through each one of these lines. You're just going to write variations that sort of make sense, right? So make sure that the flow of your email makes sense. All right, so each one of these sections, write a different variation. Okay. And of course, you want to throw in high first name, and when you originally, start out your email and give them a thank you or something at the end. All right, so I didn't include that. And then what you want to do is you want to add these into snippets. We call them snippets and upticks into your sales automation software for SpinTax. All right, this is kind of what it looks like in upticks. You come in, you create a snippet group, and then you add all those variations in there. And then once all those variations are created, then we put it into a template. So in upticks, again, specifically, we're going to reference that entire snippet group, and that's what's going to spin and rotate. So this is what your email template looks like. We're just referencing each of those sections, those snippet groups in an email template. And from there, we're just going to create a sequence, right? And we're going to embed that same template step by step. And I think in this example, I got a 90-day delay, whatever works best for you. But you can just use the same template over and over and over again. And because we've used the SpinTax, it's going to rotate it. And then from there, you just kind of sit back and you wait for deals to come in, right? You're going to get people to reply. And if, again, you're using a system like Upticks, you can track the effectiveness of your campaigns. All right. So you can see how many people are enrolled, what your deal rate is, what your win rate is, your open rates. If you are including any sort of links or anything like that, or if people reply, include links, that's getting tracked. And of course, your reply rates. All right. So you can check all that. Now, of course, I've got a shortcut to all this, right? So if you're an Upticks user, or if you're not an Upticks user and you want to sign up to Upticks, you can get all this cloned into your account. All right. So we'll copy everything. So we'll copy the entire folder. We'll copy the sequence, the emails, and all the collateral. You just got to go in and swap words and stuff like that out to your specific use case. All right. So to get started, if you haven't signed up to Upticks, go ahead, click here, sign up to Upticks. It's super quick. You're gonna get a 14-day free trial if you don't have an Upticks account currently. And there's just a one-time payment of $97 to get access to this. So click the link here, complete that. Make sure you use the same email address that you've signed up and you use for Upticks, because the third step in here is we're actually going to copy this into your Upticks account. So we'll copy the sequence, we'll copy the emails, we'll copy all of the snippets. All right. So super, super easy. It'll take us about 1 to 2 business days. As the time that I'm recording this, it's still a manual process. We're probably going to automate this. So, it might just get copied into your account by the time you actually sign up for this. And if you don't know about Upticks, go ahead, go over to upticks.io. You can check us out. So we really have a number of different solutions. Our goal is all-in-one sales automation for SMBs. So we're your lightweight CRM. We help with sales enablement with multi-channel selling. We have sales automation baked into the platform, cold outreach, concepts, and stuff within our Upticks software that help with outbound prospecting. And then we've also, at the time of this recording, a product called Ramp Up, help ramp up your existing sales reps, new sales reps, all that kind of stuff with some learning management concepts and stuff like that. And if you want to learn a little bit more, you can go ahead, click the link here. You can request a demo with us. All right. We're happy to walk you through the Upticks platform. At the time of this recording, we have hundreds and hundreds of people in the Upticks platform. You can also click this here. You can watch an overview of Upticks, all the powerful things that I can help with. Anything from helping drive top line revenue, pack your deal pipeline, or just be insanely productive with your sales and outreach mechanism. All right, so that's the video version. So go ahead, sign up to Upticks. If you don't, hope you enjoyed it anyway, and you learned a little something. And feel free to download this file up in the upper right-hand corner. You can click download, share it, send it to your friends. And until next time, keep an eye out for any other new content that we release. If you ever need help with any sort of sales, go ahead, check us out at Cold to Gold Selling with Upticks on YouTube, and then Cold to Gold Selling with Upticks on Facebook as well. And connect with us, and we're always posting new valuable sales content. And we also have a sales university with a bunch of free content and strategies about growing sales. So until next time, again, my name is Patrick Spielman, founder at Upticks. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks.